Welcome back. We still talk some sports. And Trey, I know I'm not the only one who's still scratching their head a little bit with this draft night for the NBA. I mean, I can't figure this thing out right now.
That's right. The NBA draft happened Thursday. They were loaded in Philadelphia with big men, right?
6 picks.
So surely they were looking for a guard, right?
Absolutely.
Not so fast. Angelo Santoro has more on Philly's big night.
Thanks, guys. Now, it looked like this year the Sixers were willing to take any post player available in the draft despite the need for a guard, but we'll get to that later. Joining us tonight, we have Keith Pompey from the Philly Inquirer. Now, let's get right to it. We talked last week, and it looked like it would have been between D'Angelo Russell and Jahlil Okafor. Now, clearly the Sixers drafted Okafor, but I have a couple of concerns there. Watching the Sixers, I mean, head coach Brett Brown likes to play small ball, and yet last year they drafted Joel Embiid, and now he's got Okafor, two players that do not play small ball whatsoever. So in saying that, how do you see Okafor fitting into this team, and do you see him getting immediate playing time?
Right now, with the uncertainty around Joel Embiid, I think he has to see immediate playing time. Secondly, from a fan standpoint, people are tired of you drafting guys and then sitting them. So, there's two reasons why he needs to be on the floor. Now, the Sixers, like you said, they have a problem right now. He doesn't fit into the style of offense that they really want to run. I think when you draft somebody that high at 3, you think that they could become an anchor or a cornerstone, whereas I believe that you have to adjust to that player, not the player adjusting to you.
Definitely interesting to watch. Almost painful at times to see one big after another keep getting drafted by the Sixers. Now, what was the thought process, do you think, behind that? And just last night, the Sixers did sign a point guard, TJ McConnell, out of Arizona. So can you tell me about that deal as well?
They were trying to go after a couple guards who they really liked but came off the board earlier than expected. However, there were 3 guards who had to be there. Now, these 3 guys weren't around, so what they had to do is from that point on, they kept going best player available. And they signed a guy yesterday by the name of TJ McCullough out of Arizona. They didn't draft him, but they gave him a pretty good deal, like a partially guaranteed deal. So they really like him, and they're going to see if that could work. I don't know if he's going to be a starting point guard, so to speak, but they got a point guard, and he's the consolation prize.
All right, well, now the guaranteed deal with McConnell means that even if the Sixers do not keep him on the roster for the entire season, he will still be making 6 figures for the entire season, yes. So I'm assuming that they might hold on to him, but then again, you never know with this team. It could mean, though, that he will see some time in the D-League as well. Overall, what is your thought process on the draft this year?
I'm kind of questionable, but not anything great. I mean, you get a guy like Jahlil Okafor. He's a cornerstone, but you already have 2 centers. You start drafting others as centers in the second round and post players. I'm still looking for them to get a guard. I'm still looking for them to go out there and get more shooters, but they haven't done that. It seems like they're repeatedly getting the same guys over and over again. So it's hard to say that they're moving forward. That's just my opinion.
All right, well, I'm going to have to agree. The Sixers might have been looking to take the best available players, but maybe you could change the position every once in a while. I don't know. But Keith Pompey from the Philly Inquirer, thank you again for joining us tonight. Now, Spencer, Trey, we were all watching the draft together in utter shock that they might keep taking bigs. But then again, we weren't actually because it's the Sixers. So personally, I think it's better to focus on building a franchise around Okafor rather than Embiid for on and off the court reasons. But still, the issue here is that the Sixers are bringing in players that are not happy in the franchise. And I could talk about this forever, but I will stop there, and I will try to end on a positive note and say that I am excited to see what Nerlens Noel and Okafor will do on the court. Guys?
I mean,
I don't know,
I can't understand Philly. Look, it's the trust the process, right? Yeah. Here's the problem with the process. There's no plan for it. It's just they're just going by blind faith at this point. Yeah, man, no fan really wants to follow that. You got to show me something, some way to earn that respect. And at this point, I mean, trusting the process without the plan just feels like you're trusting stupidity. Like they're not doing anything to make you feel like this franchise is moving forward. And they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league again next year. They had an opportunity to get a lot better.
Again, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. There must be some cracks in Sam Hinkie's head like there is in the Liberty Bell, Spencer. There is no way after drafting bigs last year that you draft big after big after big this year. Understand that they drafted for best player available. Yeah. But last time I checked, Tony Roten was their best guard last year. Have you heard that guy tore his ACL last season as well? So what are they going to do at guard? We don't know. If the plan is starting on 5 centers, I suggest that they go ahead and get their position for the lottery now.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking drafting Okafor. He was the best player available. But the other 5 picks to go with 4 centers and a power forward, 3 European guys that we will never see in the league. I mean, they just blew away picks, and they're blowing away a fan base right now. I'd be so mad if I was a Sixers fan.
Come on, Philly.
Right, pull it together.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for our final quick commercial break, but coming up next, it's time for what you have all been waiting for, our top plays of the week. Keep it right here.
I'm Zach Goodrich, and I play for Kent Island High School lacrosse, and this is Delmarva Sports Insider.